Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our second orientation session. I'm Professor Roberto Diniz, one of the program coordinators, and I'll be with you at the University of La Verne in September. So I'm here today to provide you with some useful information about the programs, okay? In case you have any question, you should send your questions through the YouTube chat, okay? Your questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. So feel free to send any question that you have, okay? My objective here today is to make everything 100% clear. So let's meet the participants of this orientation session. So we have students from the Advanced Topics in Business Strategy. We have students from Advanced Topics in Financial Decisions. And we also have students from Advanced Topics in Project Management. So we'll be offering these three programs in September. Let me start the presentation talking about our agenda. Basically, we'll talk about who IBS is. We'll be talking about the structure of the program, some important dates, the venue of the program, the place where the program will be held, the schedule, and then I'll talk about the travel preparation. I'll be talking about some important items such as insurance and documents. Now, let's talk about IBS. So we are 13 years old. We take approximately 1,500 students to study abroad. Okay. When I mean study abroad, I'm talking about California, I'm talking about New York, I'm talking about Italy, Brazil, and also China. We are focused on the academic preparation of the program. That means if you want to hire a tour package, you should look for a travel agency. Of course, if I'm able, I can give you some hints. But then, if you're looking for specific aspects concerning traveling, tourism, you should contact a local travel agency. Now, let's talk about the program objectives. The main objective of the program is the academic knowledge you will acquire through classes, company visits, and interaction with your classmates. Well, naturally, this academic knowledge may turn into new job opportunities. That's what I have seen to a lot of our students. So I check their LinkedIn profile. I see students who got a promotion or students who get new job opportunities. And last but not least, you will be in a different country, in a different culture. You will be in the richest state of the United States, which is California. So you will learn a lot from the experience of being there. Moving on, let's talk about the University of La Verne, where the programs will be held. Well, University of La Verne is one of the most important and respected universities in the US. It was founded in 1891 in the state of California. The university is approximately 40 minutes away from Los Angeles. Uh, it's important to mention that University of La Verne has so many campuses, okay? And your classes will be held at the Ontario campus, okay? This is really important. Well, IBS will offer a campus tour, okay? This campus tour will be offered in the afternoon of Sunday, September the 4th. The main aspects about your program will be presented in this campus tour, okay? The meeting point will be DoubleTree Hotel, the lobby of DoubleTree Hotel. The campus will start at 4, okay? And I'll take you to Ontario campus, and then we are going to La Verne campus as well. And then on the next day, the next morning, more specifically, at 7:15 a.m., we will have the opening of the program. The opening of the program will be carried out by Professor Abe Elu, who is the Dean of the University of La Verne. This welcome reception will be at DoubleTree Hotel at 7:15, and then as soon as the ceremony, the opening ends, we are going to Ontario campus because classes will start there. Here you have the exact address of the campus. So the name of the campus is called Inland Empire Regional Campus. It's in the city of Ontario, okay? Uh, the campus is located approximately 5 minutes by car or 15 to 20 minutes on foot, okay? However, as you are in California, I recommend that you rent a car because this is a cultural thing. Everybody does everything there by car, not on foot, okay? So that's my first cultural tip to you. Here you have the location of the campus. You also have the location of the hotel and the distance and a suggested route for you. Now, let's talk about the program structure and the schedule of them. Courses start punctually at 8 o'clock and they end at 12:25, sorry. Then you will have some time for lunch, and then the business classes will start at 2, okay? There is also a 15-minute break in the morning and also a 15-minute break in the afternoon for you to have some coffee, to use the toilet, okay? Talking about something important, which is the number of absences. You are allowed to have only one absence in each program. If you exceed this limit, you will not get a certificate, okay? Something about the business English module is that classes are from Monday to Thursday, okay? The administration classes are from Monday to Friday, but the business English classes are from Monday to Thursday, because on Friday you will have the company visits, okay? The classes start at 2 and they end at 4:50, okay? Again, the limit is one absence. The only exception is if you get sick, okay? If you're ill, please let me know before. You may need some help from our end, but in case you need to go to hospital, please talk to me, okay? I hope this does not happen, but in case there's any issue, please communicate to me before, okay? Now let's talk about the English test. I have a question for you. Have you taken your English test yet? Well, if you haven't taken the test, we will assume that you are not interested in taking the business English module, which is optional and complimentary, okay? So if you don't want to take the business English module, just let me know. There's no problem at all, and then you can focus on the administration program. However, I do recommend that you take the business English module, since it will be an extra opportunity for you to practice your English skills, okay? Now, another question for you. Have you read the background readings that we have sent you? These texts that are called background readings are not necessarily used in the classroom, but they help standardize some concepts, okay? It's also a very good opportunity for you to practice your English skills, improve your vocabulary, okay? So we truly recommend that you read these texts before you get to Laverne, okay? Well, there are no tests in the program. Students will be evaluated through their performance in the classroom and also through their performance in some presentations, okay? There's something really interesting about the programs, which is the University of Laverne will offer something that we call Outstanding Student Award. It's not exactly an award. It's an honor that we give to students who have a great performance. So professors select 2 or 3 from each class to give them a special honor, okay, to say that these students have had an outstanding performance. So I truly encourage you to be one of the best students in your classroom and receive this honor, okay. Now let's talk about the contact with executives. The agenda of the visits will be given to you on the first day of your program, okay? As soon as you get the agenda, I advise you to check the companies you'll be visiting, try to get more information to learn more about them before going there. And I also encourage you to make some questions, to write some questions that you can ask by the time you visit them. Some of the visits might be a lecture with an American executive, because there are some companies that we are not allowed to visit, or that it's not relevant going there. So the executive comes to the University of La Verne and gives the student a presentation, and then also some free time to ask questions and check any, clarify any information about the company. Here's something important, which is the transportation to visit should be arranged by students, okay? So students usually talk to their classmates and find someone who has a car, and all of them go to the company visit. Still on the topic about the company visits, we're giving you some input here. For example, what are your expectations regarding the company visits? What subjects would you like to hear from the executive? What message can you tell the executive to make the visit more relevant? So these are some points for you to reflect. Here you have a picture of a student in a visit to Gerdau in Rancho Cucamonga, which is a city near Ontario. Now, let's talk about some orientations concerning the program there. First, to access wireless that you have on campus, you will receive a login and a password on the first day of the program. It's usually the first name typed with the first letter in uppercase, like in big letter, okay, together with the first letter of your last name. Well, the campus does not offer support for IT, so if you have any issue, you should try to get help from your classmate, someone who has more experience on that, or you may ask me to help you. It will be my pleasure to give you some support on that. But usually students do not have problems concerning Wi-Fi there. Okay. Something important, it's forbidden to access internet during the classes. I mean, to chat on Facebook, to check your Facebook profile, to use WhatsApp. So I kindly ask you to stay focused on the classes, on what the professor is explaining to you. Okay, if you check your Facebook profile, your professor will not like it, and then he will report to the program coordination. Now, you will also have access to University of La Verne's virtual library, which is one of the best libraries in the United States. You will receive a code and a link to the website so you can check articles, books, okay? You can download a lot of materials. So in case you're carrying out any research, you'd like to know more about a specific subject, use the internet, the online library. Okay, it's really, really good. If you do not have a computer there, you can use the computers that are in the lab of the university, or you can use one of the computers at the business center of the hotel. Okay. If you'd like to print some texts, there is a cost for that. So what students do most of the time is just they just download the texts and then they print at home. Okay, this is a suggestion. Okay, well, you will receive the access code in the beginning of the program. Now let's talk about parking. Parking in Ontario campus is free at designated areas. There are some areas that are forbidden. They are usually painted red, okay? And there are some areas that are for handicapped people. So please respect these areas. Otherwise, you'll get a ticket, okay? There are some restaurants that are near Ontario campus. I would like to highlight two, okay? First one is a Chinese restaurant called Panda Inn. but the food is really excellent. They serve rice, chicken, meat. It's really good. There is also a Fridays that is walking distance from Ontario campus. Also, if you like to go to different restaurants, there are a lot of restaurants nearby. There are restaurants near an outlet called Ontario Mills. And you may also have lunch at University of La Verne's main campus, which is in the city of La Verne. But for this, you will have to drive approximately 25 minutes. And my advice is, if you want to have lunch at the main campus, as soon as your class finishes, you must go there because the restaurant allows people to enter only until 1. Okay, so your classes finish at 12:25, so you have to hurry to the main campus if you'd like to have to have lunch there. Sorry, and also you should be careful on where to park there because most of the places have a time limit to park your car. So be careful there. My advice is go to the restaurants that are near Ontario campus. It's better. It's more comfortable as well. Okay. Now, let's talk about some points of interest. So there are some places, some stores that you should visit. The first one that we suggest is IKEA, which is a furniture store. IKEA is one of the most recognized furniture stores in the world. And IKEA does not have operations in some Latin American countries. So you should check this store, see how they work, how they market their products. So it's a very good opportunity to know a store that is still not present in a lot of Latin American countries. So this visit should be carried out as a customer. Okay, you go there like as a customer and you try to analyze the company's strategies. Another point of interest that we suggest is Getty Museum, which is the biggest private museum in the world. So this museum has guided tours with translations in so many languages, including Spanish. Another point of interest, you can visit the Universal Studios. Okay, it's a bit far from La Verne. You have to drive there as well. And they have like some guided tours. If you like the film industry, it's a great place to visit. Now, the next slide, let's talk about the transfer from airport to the hotel. I'm going to suggest you an alternative, which is a shared van. The name of this shared van is Super Shuttle. Okay, it's a service that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, most of the students will land in Los Angeles Airport. So from Los Angeles to Ontario, it's far. You cannot take a taxi. Okay, you may take a taxi, but then you spend more than $150, which is expensive. So there are two options. Either you rent a car from Los Angeles Airport or you take this van. The cost of this van from Los Angeles Airport to DoubleTree by Hilton is approximately $67 if you make the reservation in advance. You can pay for the reservation using a credit card, and as I told you, it's a 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Okay. There is also a domestic airport near DoubleTree by Hilton, which is Ontario. Be careful not to confuse with Ontario in Canada, okay? Because both cities have the same name. This Ontario is located in California. However, the tickets to this domestic airport are usually much more expensive than traveling to Los Angeles. So you may check the price of this of flying to this domestic airport. However, it tends to be much more expensive. Okay. Now, if you want, you can rent a car. Okay. Don't forget that you should be at least 21 years old in order to rent a car in the US. And there is a surcharge if you are younger than 25. Okay. So be careful on these two pieces of information. You should also check if your driver's license is valid in the US or if you need to have an international permit. So you should check this in your country. To take the bus of the car rental company, you should go to the second lane. You exit the airport and you go to the second lane and you take the bus of the car rental company. And this bus will take you to where cars are. Okay. The GPS is not usually included in the price of the rent, and it's very expensive to rent the GPS together with the car. So what we suggest is that you buy one or you take the GPS from your country, okay? Because by the well, if you consider the price that you pay for the rent, by the end of the program, you may be able to buy one or two GPSs, okay? And something that our students do all the time is to make some small groups to rent a car and share the costs. If you do that, it's not expensive. If you'd like to buy a SIM card, we suggest that you buy either an AT&T or a T-Mobile SIM card. They have a lot of plans that include internet, minutes, calling abroad. And then if you want to buy one, our suggestion is go to Ontario Mills outlet and you can buy directly there. Okay, and prices vary according to the package that you buy. Okay, there are packages from $40 until $100. Now let's talk about the suggested accommodation. So here you see a picture of the hotel that we have suggested, which is DoubleTree by Hilton, Ontario. About the accommodation, the deadline was July the 30th. So I know that most of you have already made your accommodation arrangements, so this shouldn't be an issue. Now let's talk about the trip preparation. A very important topic now. Travel insurance, or at least health insurance. It's compulsory that all students have health insurance, and you should send the details of your insurance to our team, okay? Because this is a mandatory activity. Health in the United States is extremely expensive, so the university requires that you have health insurance, okay? Maybe you already have this service. Some credit card companies offer this service, so maybe you should check with them, with your credit card company, because if you buy the ticket with a credit card, they may give you this service. Check, this is my first advice. If you don't have this service, you should hire it independently and send us some details, such as the name of the insurance company, the voucher number, the phone number that we must call in case you need to access the service. And we also require that you send us an emergency telephone number in your country in case there is an emergency. Okay. Now, we suggest that you should travel with your University of La Verne t-shirt. If you, in your case, you haven't received that, then you will get the t-shirt on the first day of the program. And I know that all of you are traveling as a group, so it's easier for you to reach the hotel. Make sure that you take all the necessary documents. Make sure that you have your passport. Make sure that you have your visa with you and the confirmation of the hotel reservation. So my suggestion is put all the documents inside a folder and take the folder with you. Take also the letter that we sent. It's the endorsement letter. If you haven't received this letter, please let our staff know, okay? Then Javier, Flavia, Jenny, and Anna can send you this letter, but I'm sure that you have received it, okay? Be aware about your baggage, okay? I know that some students love buying, but pay attention if your baggage is not overweight, because some companies may refuse to take your baggage, okay? And we ask you again to check your documents, the flight tickets, the proof of vaccination if it's necessary. depending on the country that you may have a connection, especially in Central America. Some countries require a yellow fever vaccination, so please check with your airline company if this is necessary. Okay, if you make use of any medicine if you use any medicine regularly, please take the prescription. Okay, and the prescription should be translated in English. This is important. And there are some restrictions on hand luggage, sharp objects, lighters, liquids over 100 milliliters. So be careful on that because of safety rules. Now, let me give you some tips about the visa interview, or by the time that you get to the US. You must show strong ties with your country. You must show a great reason to attend the program and how you're going to pay for the trip. Some officials may ask you to show if you have credit cards, how much money you have, so you should be ready to provide this information. You should also have the letter ready, okay? And if the official asks what you're going to do in the United States, we advise you not to use the word study, because if you say, I'm going to study in the US, what will the official understand? He will understand that you're going there for a long-term program, for a master's degree, for a doctorate degree, which is not the case. You're going to attend a business program that consists of lectures, company visits, okay? So this is very important to avoid any kind of misunderstanding, okay? Now, let's talk about payment methods. Most stores accept credit card. We advise you to take some cash, okay, for daily expenses. And then for the other days, you can use a credit card. We suggest that you take approximately $2,000, but then that depends on how much you want to buy, where you want to eat. There are students who spend time there with way less money than $2,000. Okay. Here we have a very important recommendation. Never, pay attention, never use prepaid cards to make hotel or car reservations, because hotels usually make a there is something that they call incidentals. So the hotel will charge you a bit more on your credit card if you want to use room service, if you want to use the restaurant of the hotel. So when you make this kind of reservation, a car or a hotel reservation, you should use a credit card, not a debit or a prepaid card, because they will block, like they will make like a reservation, they will reserve a part of your money. And this will not be good if you have a prepaid card, because they will not reserve your limit. They will they will make a reservation of your money. So please be careful, okay? Never use prepaid cards for this kind of activity. We've had some cases of students who were out of money there because they made this mistake, okay? So please pay attention to that. Some local habits here. Laws are different between American states, okay? In California, laws tend to be really strict. Avoid tickets by obeying the traffic rules, okay? You're not allowed to drink alcohol in public areas or to smoke in closed places, okay? Be careful on that. Something cultural that we see in California is the tip. So when you go to a restaurant, people usually give a 15% tip to waiters, okay? Now let's talk about the dress code. Will be during American summer. The temperature is really hot. It's around 30 Celsius degrees. Well, you don't need to wear social clothes during the classes. However, for company visits, we require that you are dressed a little bit more formal. And talking about being dressed formally, when it comes to your graduation ceremony, girls, you must wear a dress of like a formal dress. Boys, you have to wear a suit with a tie. Okay, be careful on that because the graduation ceremony is a very formal situation. You will be taking pictures with the dean of the university, so we ask everybody to be dressed properly. Okay. For the classes, avoid wearing flip-flops, sandals, caps. Okay. Uh, this is the recommendation that we give students about the dress code during classes. Okay. But then you can wear jeans, a t-shirt. That is okay for the classes. Just for the company visits and also the graduation ceremony, that the dress code is more specific. Okay. So here you have a slide about the dress code. I have just explained this to you. Okay. On this slide, you see a picture of last September group at the graduation ceremony. So you may see how people are dressed here. Okay. The graduation ceremony will be on the last day of the program, September 16th, at night. Please do not buy your tickets to travel on the last day of the program, otherwise you will miss the graduation ceremony. Okay. Now, I'll give you some tourism suggestions. We have students who travel to Las Vegas, to San Francisco, to Disneyland, to some beaches such as Santa Monica, Malibu. So as you have the weekend free, you can travel around one of the most touristic areas in the United States. So that concludes my presentation. If you'd like to ask me any question, you can use the YouTube chat, okay? And I'll be answering right now. My assistant, Julio Quadros, is here with us today. Julio, do we have questions?
Yes. Heide Paredes is asking, could us visit LinkedIn or Google company?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Could us visit LinkedIn or Google in our company visits?
I did. First, thank you very much for your participation in the program. Unfortunately, no, because Google is really, really far from Laverne. Okay, Google is located in the Silicon Valley, so it's about a 6-hour drive to go there. So you will be visiting local companies. Some of the companies are big companies, so we had students who visited Domino's Pizza, we had students who were able to visit Amazon, we had students who were able to visit a distribution center of Kawasaki, we had students who were able to visit Ford dealer network of dealerships. Okay. We try to get famous American companies, but also companies that are relevant to the program. Okay, we don't choose the company based on the name, but how relevant this company can be to the program. Yeah. So I don't know about LinkedIn location, but about Google, I know that it's in Silicon Valley, but it's really, really far. It's more than 600 kilometers from Laverne. So you will be visiting companies that are around the university.
Miss Tanya Ruiz is saying that she didn't receive the background readings, and she's asking how can she get the file?
Dear Tanya, thank you very much for your participation in our session. I kindly ask you to write to Ana Camargo or Flavia Casemiro, okay? They can send you the link with all the readings, okay? And as soon as you get the link, start reading the texts. Although these texts will not be necessarily used in the classroom, they will help you, they will give you more understanding on the subject, and it will also be a great opportunity for you to practice your English skills, okay? For the advanced topics in business strategy students, there will also be a manual because students will be using a simulation game, okay, of a company. In the next few days, we will send a manual, and it's really important that you read the manual of this platform, okay?
They has another question. She's asking if they are going to get a Laverne certificate or an IBS certificate.
You will be getting a University of Laverne certificate. Okay, the certificate is issued by the American University, and it's signed by the dean of the university.
No more questions.
Okay, let's wait one or 2 minutes more. There may be some other questions. So if you have any, please send them right now. Okay, I'll be giving you 1 minute more just to check if you have if you'd like to know anything else about this, about the program, about the hotel, about classes. Okay.
We have another question. Maria. Maria is asking, in which campus will students have classes?
Dear Maria, thank you very much for your participation. So as I mentioned some slides before, classes will be at the Ontario campus. It's a regional campus. It's a campus where MBA programs are offered. So maybe one day you may come across with an MBA student from the University of Laverne, may exchange some ideas. So this is a local campus where graduate programs such as the MBA programs are offered. Okay, so Ontario campus is close to the hotel that we suggested, which is DoubleTree by Hilton. Okay, so you have classes there.
And Eric is asking, are there restaurants near the hotel?
Dear Eric, thank you very much for your participation. Yes, there are some options near DoubleTree by Hilton. First, the hotel itself has a bar, but it's also a restaurant. The food is really good and it's not really expensive. There are some restaurants that are near there. There is a fast food restaurant that sells hamburger. There is Denny's that it sells well, fast food, but also some dishes. There is also a Chinese restaurant. There's also an Italian restaurant. All of them are walking distance. Okay.
No more questions, Professor.
Okay, so that ends my presentation. If you have any other question later, you can send us the question. It will be our pleasure to answer them. Thank you very much for your participation and see you in California in a few weeks. Bye-bye.